this show going, man.
Hurry up, hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
Hurry up!
Come on now. We're gonna have action soon. Right here. It ain't going nowhere.
Boy, yeah, you got some technique, boy. You ain't show me that this summer.
Hey, Wildcat!
Ball at the 5, third down and 2.
That was bad.
Let's go have some fun, bro. We ain't got to talk about too much.
He wasn't playing the ball!
It's holding!
Cliff, the Cliff. How is that not called?
That ain't gonna call a damn thing.
What is the delay for? He's standing right there.
He's taking a card out. He's a piece of paper.
It's that close? Dear Lord.
Hello and welcome. We're the Aussie Guys. I'm AJ. Here with me is G. How are you, G?
Nervous.
You're nervous? How come?
What's sitting in front of me?
Oh, I know. Well, you're going to go to that already. Drinks of the pod.
550 mils of sugar.
Guarana.
Taurine. Is it taurine?
Yes.
Can I pronounce it?
I think so.
Ginseng. And whatever the hell that... What the hell is that word? What the hell is that?
It goes around half the can.
It does.
I've got no
Is
idea.
that meant to be like another fancy word for sugar?
It probably is a fancy word for sugar. It's got a ton of sugar in it, hasn't it? Well,
Absolutely. It's got no fat in it. That's a good start.
well, listen, in honour of DFF Memphis, who
50 grams of sugar.
when we had a chat
I'm
to
not
him
sleeping.
recently, it was early morning for him and it was evening for us, and that was what he was
He's
having for
drinking that
breakfast.
in the morning. Like for breakfast. How the hell do you... My God, 50 grams of sugar. Like there's 50 grams of carbohydrate. It's all made up of sugars.
Whoa.
Unless it's 50 grams of carbohydrates. No, that's total. And it's 50 grams of sugar. So it's all the carbohydrates come from sugar.
Man, I'm going to seriously have the ambulance on speed dial.
Oh,
because
my
I might
God.
need it. Because
At this age, I don't know if my ticket can... at almost 50. I don't know if I can take this.
I don't know if you really should. But anyway, have a little... You don't have to drink the whole lot.
Oh, my God, I'm just reading it. I don't know if 468 milligrams of sodium is high. Because I don't drink these things. I drink, water. And I'll tell actually where I'm working at the moment, it's a renovation.
Yep.
They have the greatest thing ever.
What's that?
They have, I don't know, people, it might be different from different countries, but Zip. Zip is like
Yes, a zip tap.
A zip tap where you can have, boiling hot water come out or
Yeah.
cold water.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have they didn't want the boiling hot one. So they've just got normal water, cold water, and they've got carbonated water.
Oh.
They've got a built-in soda stream. It is the greatest thing ever.
Really?
They've spent millions of bucks on this reno, and so
Yeah.
the best thing in this house is that.
Really?
Yeah, I just go and fill up my bottle every day with carbonated water. It's
Wow.
better than drinking normal water.
Is it?
It just it feels like you're sort of you're a little bit naughty without being naughty. Like having a soft drink.
But there's nothing different about it, is there? It's just water.
No, it's just carbonated. It's just pumped with gas.
Man.
But it's just better than water. Water gets a bit boring.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it
It's
would.
hard to drink water all the time, to make yourself drink water.
Oh, it is.
But carbonated water, it's like a soft drink without being a soft drink.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
But this stuff...
Wow.
Mate.
And while you're decoding that, I'm remiss. I should mention what you got from me, which is the Hawthorn Pale Ale. It's from
Victoria,
Hawthorn, I suppose. I
it
don't
says
know.
on the side down the bottom.
Does it?
Yes.
On the side.
Down on the side. Mate, the side, that side.
That side.
You've even got glasses on, you can't see that.
Three mates
They're
from
Armani
Hawthorn
glasses
embarked
too, I
on the...
noticed.
Yes, they are. Yeah, absolutely.
This teaching
Nothing but
gig's doing all right,
stylish.
isn't it?
Okay, lovely. Oh, I haven't even tasted it yet. Oh, I should say I haven't been that well this week.
No, I was going to say you look a bit paler than usual, and that's pretty hard because you're white.
Yeah.
To be paler than white is what's paler than white? Transparent, I suppose.
I guess it is. So I probably shouldn't really be having this, but I'll have a sip for
No, well, you gotta
for
do
the
it
sake
pod.
of drink
Yeah,
for the
that's what it
pod.
is. I'm gonna open this. This is resealable, and a bloody good job it is too. At 550 mils, more than half a litre.
Goodness me.
It's got this little thing. You slip it round. You can smell it. And how far am I away from it? 30, 40 centimetres?
Yeah.
And I can straight up.
Oh, well, go on.
That doesn't... smells like sweaty feet.
I'm not sure if you should be drinking that, but anyway, enjoy.
Actually, it doesn't taste too bad. It's all the sugar.
Yeah, it is. Anything will taste fine with all that sugar in it, I'm sure.
So I don't know how Randers does it, but there you go, Randers. It's in honour of you, mate.
Well, let's get to some news. Now, the Thursday night football game was on today. That was an interesting game, G.
I haven't actually sat there. I've seen the highlights.
Okay.
And even look, to be honest, the highlights didn't look like I want to go and watch the game. Like,
No.
I know it's a high-scoring game. When you sit down and watch some highlights, you go, oh, man, this is fantastic. I want to go and watch this game.
No, it wasn't fantastic.
But, no.
It was
Didn't seem it.
not good. It was not good whatsoever. In fact, so prior to the game, the big news was that Von Miller came out and said that they were going to kick their asses. Well, they did. I mean, they won 45-10. A lot of points on defense. The Bronco D had 3 interceptions, 2 which they took to the house, 6 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries. In fact, I did play them in one redraft league, the Broncos
As I did.
D. Very good.
Oh, and the analyst.
Now,
Our shared league.
obviously scoring dependent, but 32 points.
Mate, if you're up against 32 points, the defense has scored 32 points, you're just packing it in.
That's a good day for a quarterback.
A good day for a quarterback. That's a sensational day for a quarterback.
Oh, my goodness. Look, other little bits and pieces, G, and I did something a little bit different for the news segment this week.
Okay.
Some
So
more...
the Chargers are going back to San Diego?
No. Oh, well, do you want to talk about that? Okay.
Well, let's talk about that, because I actually tried to find a good British, bitter, light beer, on reflection of how the Raiders played at Wembley, which was an absolute debacle.
It
They
was.
looked
It was
terrible.
awful. Yeah.
The offensive line was terrible, and we spoke about this before we came on, but, okay, granted, Derek Carr was under the pump, but he does make some terrible decisions under pressure.
Agreed. And I'm finding it a little bit hard to stomach. I'm sure other Raider fans are like this, to stomach the John Gruden post-game presser at the moment, because he's got this way about him that, you know, and I want to believe in John Gruden.
10 years, 10 million, 100 million bucks.
There's 100 million reasons to try and believe in him, to convince yourself, but his post-game presser, it's like they weren't as bad as they were. I mean, I shouldn't say that. He said, look, there's a lot of work to do, etc., and he's not necessarily...
Is he talking about him as a coach?
But
As a head-
it just looks like an absolute train wreck. Like how the Raiders are, honestly... They're going to get a top 3 draft pick, which I guess is good news, but you don't really want to be looking forward to the draft at this point in the season, do you?
6 weeks in. Mate, might as well start tanking. You know what I feel about
If
tanking.
they're not already.
Yeah.
I really don't know. Now, the other news that you alluded to were the Chargers. So there was a discussion at a league meeting, I believe, because the Chargers, I think, now I didn't get prepared for this, so I don't have the exact figures, but I believe are the lowest in ticket sales. They're not even selling out the StubHub. And we were talking before we hit record about how LA, being what LA is, often the crowd that you get to a Chargers game is, you know, predominantly the opposition team. Fans.
I've always seen, and I may be wrong, that LA is the type of city that it's not as Vegas is. It's not a transient. Like, you don't come in there for a week or so or whatever, or
No.
how long, and then you disappear. If you want to work there, you might work there 6 months. I have no idea how it works. But as far as our LA goes, I've always seen it, and like I said, I may be wrong, that it's people come from other places and move to LA. So you bring your allegiances with you.
Yes.
How long was it ago? Was it 30 years ago? I can guarantee you now, there'd still be people living there that were Chargers fans back then. But, mate, the turnover of population probably it'd be very, very minimal.
My word.
You know, or you're going to be a Raiders fan probably.
Or a
anything
Rams
else.
fan.
Or a Rams fan.
Speaking of which, the Rams are winning, well and truly winning the battle for LA. Now, the Chargers are looking good. But the Rams, they look like the best team in the NFL. And they're going to go into a brand new stadium with such momentum. I mean, they may have a Super Bowl, or they certainly will have postseason appearances by the time they get to the new stadium. And
look, we're not saying that Chargers won't.
No, but that's one way to win over an LA crowd, isn't it?
And I think I was going to say, because the Rams have been there, but they haven't been there for that long, have they?
No.
Because we had these same problems when the Rams moved there. Like, with the Coliseum looked Well, then you go and watch a USC game and just see it absolutely chockers to the hilt.
Yes.
And then you get the Rams playing on Sunday. It's like, oh my God, what happened to all the cleaners still here just cleaning up the leftovers from the Saturday game?
That's right.
But
Yep.
no, they've turned it around. And how do you turn it around? You win.
You win. In LA,
Yep.
you win. There's a lot of other cities where it's just enough to be there and the city will back you. But LA is the kind of city where you need to win.
Mm-hmm.
You need to build up.
The Lakers, look, I'm not a basketball follower at all, but I know from listening to sports agencies and that it's, mate, as soon as the Lakers were no good, everybody's like, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
You watch them all get back on now with who's
LeBron.
gone? LeBron.
Now,
Who is he?
Who is he?
That guy? You know,
that guy.
a real good guy.
Who's good at basketball.
Yeah.
Only the best basketballer in the world. Now, it's just that there's so many choices in LA.
My son would be so disappointed.
So if one team is not doing so well, you can hop on to another one.
In LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
There's so many choices.
Oh, mate, even if you're from, say, San Diego, and you're not happy about the team that was there, and you could jump on somebody else.
You could, I guess.
You could.
Now,
What else we got in news?
Drew Brees is going to set another milestone. Well, it's not. He's not the first person to do this, but he's going to be the third quarterback in NFL history if he beats the Ravens this week. It's going to be the third quarterback in NFL history to beat all 32 NFL teams.
Going to be a struggle this week.
It will. Yeah, but he's a shot for it. Two other quarterbacks in NFL history have beaten all 32 teams. G. Do you know who they are?
Can I say Brady?
Brady hasn't beaten the New England Patriots. So you can't say Brady.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Aha,
okay.
now the penny drop has
Yes,
dropped.
Yeah, because he hasn't always been a saint. Joe Montana?
Nope.
So someone who's moved around a bit.
It's got to be someone they've got to have moved.
Yeah, and had a decent career.
Yes, that's right. They're kind of fairly obvious names.
Oh, thanks.
You go
Great.
for 'em.
That will make me look stupid.
No, I'm just saying,
Make
if
me
you
look
go
stupid.
if you think, don't try and think too hard about it. If you just put some high-profile names out there, you'll get them.
This stuff's not helping me.
The monster.
No, it's not
Have another swig, then you'll probably get it.
It's not one of those. I need one of those brain drinks.
Do you want me to tell you? Then
Yeah,
it'll be
go on,
obvious. Peyton Manning
Yeah.
and Brett Favre. There you go. Now, I thought just
I had a man's look then, didn't I?
you did. Now, just for giggles, and this might also go just as badly. I printed out
Should give me a heads up and just put it there just so I don't look so
No, it's more fun if I don't give you a heads
Yeah, I
up.
know.
So I printed out
Here's for you.
I printed out
good
the
for me.
ESPN power ranking through 6 weeks.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to ask you to go through it, but the top 10, G. See if you can
Oh,
give me teams in the top 10.
Power rankings, the best
Yeah.
teams in the league.
Correct.
Oh, Rams,
Number 1, 6-0.
KC,
Number 3,
Ooh.
5-1.
Patriots.
Yes, they put the Patriots at number 2. They've got a 4-2.
So what's this based on
Record.
exactly? Before
It's just opinion.
it's just opinion.
Yeah. So you got the top 3.
Saints.
Saints are 4.
The Ravens.
5. You're doing great.
I'm trying to go through in my head.
This is where you'll probably fall over,
Yeah.
I reckon. You get any in the top 10, I'll give it to you.
Any in the top 10?
Yeah.
You might have to do a bit of editing here.
You did the top 5 pretty much in order.
Pittsburgh,
They're number 9.
Green Bay.
No, they're 14. Yeah.
Okay, give me a couple of clues.
Okay, so the number 6
What have I
team,
got? 6 or 6?
you've got 6 out of 10. So the number 6 team has got a 3-3 record.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I was a bit surprised.
A 3-3 record.
Yeah. But they've got form.
They've got form.
Yeah, they've got form.
Is that how they do power rankings? On
I
form?
guess.
On form.
But it's also momentum, like how
Momentum?
they're looking.
No
and
idea.
Eagles.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, number 7.
I don't think they've looked that great.
Okay, teams 7 and 8 are
Yep.
4-2.
Yep.
One of them we've already mentioned today.
Chargers?
Yes. Then number 8, number 7, 4-2 team.
I'm going around the coast now.
Their quarterback is a little bit maligned, but playing fantastic.
A little bit maligned.
Yeah, he might have red hair, perhaps.
Oh, okay, Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah. And who's the last one? Just tell me. It could be-
Vikings.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And-
no, that Kurt's looking good.
3, 2, and 1. Do you reckon you can guess the last? I won't get you to guess the last 10.
Please don't.
Last few.
We'd be here for too long.
Give me number 32.
Raiders.
Yes. Number 31.
Based on the way they're playing at the moment.
Yes.
Cards.
Yes. Number 30. Doing well the other way, too.
Titans.
No, the Titans are at number 18.
Okay.
Yeah, Niners. Niners at 30.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's unfortunate because of what are they? 1 and 5.
Yeah, 1 and 5.
Yeah, but it's not like have they been like they haven't looked bad. I suppose they're still 1 and 5. It doesn't really matter.
And I mean, CJ Beth is playing all right.
He's playing very well.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Well, I suppose he's been in the system.
Yeah.
He's better another year on. Mate, his numbers weren't terrible.
No,
Last year.
they weren't.
He's getting and Shanahan's dialing it up. He's not changing anything.
Correct.
He looked good, and mate, he's tough as nails.
He is.
No slide in here.
No, he's good.
Head first for that first down. A couple of times he just put his head down and just went for that yellow line. It's amazing how that yellow line moves on the field too. That's incredible. Technology. I love it.
Let's get into our kick it in the guts, Barry. I got it.
Well done.
Our nitro.
Like this thing sucks nitro.
It sure does.
I'm going to be talking really quick soon, I reckon.
Kick it in the guts, Barry. Shut the gate on this one, Max. It's the Ducks' guts.
Yeah, she's the last of the V8. She sucks nitro.
Now, do you want me to lead off?
Please.
Okay. I've got two. My first one, Baker Mayfield.
Ooh.
Now, Cleveland is at Tampa Bay. Mic drop. Boom. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. They're at Tampa Bay. Now, Baker's had his share of struggles. He's completing less than 56% of passes, 5 interceptions to 4 touchdowns. But the Bucks are dead last in the NFL in pass D.
It's a shame he doesn't play against the 49ers at Candlestick Park.
Why is that?
Isn't there like a poem, the baker, the candlestick maker, and...
Have another swig of
No,
that.
I'm going
That
to
was
keep
terrible.
Oh, no, it's this. I'm going to blame this all night now.
You will, yes, for all your terrible puns. And the Bucks lead the league in fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks by a lot.
I don't lead the league in a few things, I can tell you. They're up near the top.
So my first is Baker. My second, don't know if you've got... Did you have Baker? No.
No, I do not.
My second one is the Red Rifle.
Oi! I've got the Red Rocket.
Red Rocket.
Oh, yeah.
Red Rifle, Red Rocket.
I like the Rocket.
Do you?
Yeah, come on, punch.
Yeah, true.
Rifle, you get a little 308.
Now,
Rocket.
Bengals are at Kansas City. Now, Andy Dalton's actually been playing really well. He's 14th in fantasy points through 6 weeks. You know he's going to be throwing a lot. The Chiefs are the 5th best matchup for quarterbacks. This is quickly going to become, I think as it does seem to happen with KC. I mean, Mahomes had a little bit of a slow start against the Pats. Maybe it was a little bit of being starstruck, I don't know. But a little bit of a slow start. But you know it's going to be a high-scoring affair, and Dalton's going to have to sling the rock.
Oh, he is.
So I like him this week. But who do you have, G?
No, look, I agree. I got Andy Dalton here as well. Like, yeah. Did you... I was concentrating. I was looking at my phone when you were talking then. I tuned out. Did you mention where the Kansas City are number 32 against quarterbacks?
No.
Oh. No?
No.
Well, in yards anyway.
In yards.
In yards they are. And look, they have been better the last 2 weeks. The Chiefs only given up 2 TDs. However, they've still given up the most yards in the last 2 weeks is 770 yards. So,
wow.
You give up that many yards and you give someone like Tyler Boyd a bit of a run-up, basically.
I thought you were going to say AJ Green.
I may give them each a launching pad with that many yards. You know, you give them a launching pad, they're going to put up big games. So, and the thing is too that the RBs are hurting the Chiefs as well. They've given up 353 yards and 3 TDs in the past 2 games. So this ball's going to be run. It's going to be flying everywhere.
Yeah, my word, it is.
So Dalton's yards in the last 2 games. Okay, now this week he has John Ross back. Now without John Ross, his last 2 games he went from 299 yards per game to 238, and he had 11 TDs in the first 4 games, and he only had 3 TDs in the past 2 games. So, because Ross hasn't been there to stretch the field, so
Sure.
he's back this week, so that's really going to help. You give Andy Dalton yards, passing yards to Mixon. We saw he caught a touchdown. This is going to be quite one of those games. I'm looking forward to this one this week. The other one that I have is I put him in the I put him in the can last week, and that's Jameis Winston. But that was sort of like just because I was just sick of everybody talking about how Jameis Winston was going to go off, and there he goes, and he did. So that was a bit of I did that with a bit of a wry smile on my face, but I was hoping it wasn't going to come true because it's against the Falcons. But we got a win anyway, so that's good. And we almost lost it the last play of the day with the lateral. But I also spoke about last week about how good Cleveland have been at home, but they're not at home. All the good stats have come at home until last week, obviously. We got torn apart by Phillip Rivers, who I think I stuck in the can last week as well, didn't I?
I think you did.
Yeah, I'm not having a good run at quarterbacks at all, so this is not good. So if you've got Jameis Winston and I'm putting him in the starts this week, be prepared.
Sit.
But look, Cleveland has been pretty bad away. So their away games this year have been against Drew Brees, who put up 243, 2 DDs. Derek Carr, who we just spoke about, just looks absolutely all at sea at the moment, especially with that offensive line. He put up 437 and 4 TDs. So in the past, in their away games, the Browns have given up 680 yards, 6 TDs. So in a 6-point touchdown league, they're giving up 31.5 fantasy points to quarterbacks, and in a 4-point TD league, they're giving up 25.1.
Wow.
Go Jameis.
Okay, running back. I've got
a big one.
Have you?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley against the Falcons. Oh my God, this is going to get ugly very quickly.
Have you really put him down there?
Oh, I just mentioned because it's just going to be so. He's going to run absolute riot.
He's pretty impressive, isn't he?
He could run for 300 yards. I hate putting my Falcons in it, but they can't stop Pee Wee football team.
No, doesn't look like that at the moment. But look, you've got an excuse.
Oh, yeah. No,
But
look,
still-
mate, no, that's not fair because we haven't been able to stop running backs for a number of years now.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not using all our injuries as an excuse.
Have another swig. So I'm going to put in Kerryon Johnson
Ooh, I like that.
at Miami. Now, the Lions have actually run the ball pretty well.
Chris, don't listen to this. Turn off.
Why?
I'm trying to do a trade at the moment with Kerryon Johnson.
They've actually run the ball pretty effectively lately. This could be good things for Johnson against a Dolphins D that's 5th in fantasy points allowed to running backs. That Dolphins D is actually decent.
It is.
But they're a little weak against the run.
Yeah, the problem with Kerryon Johnson at the moment, isn't it, is it's 50-50. Like, Patricia, for God's sake, dude, this ain't New England. And Belichick actually worked out that we can actually run with one running back.
Yes.
Deion Lewis, did you not watch anything last year when you were, maybe because you're so worried about the defense that he wasn't looking what the offense was doing, which is,
Oh.
But did he ever wonder how the ball got down the other end of the ground?
It's like you've got the guy there, use him.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of these things are...
But he's been really stubborn about
Yeah.
it. And it's like a 50-50 split.
It is. That's
And that's killing his fantasy value at the moment.
Second guy I've got in there, and you'll see a little bit of repetition, I suppose, in some of the games that we mentioned, but Joe Mixon at Kansas City.
Well, there's repetition because the game offers either no points
Or lots of points.
Or lots of points.
That's right. So it's a game that could get out of control for the Bengals really quickly. And one of the things that they should be trying to do in a rational world, Marvin Lewis, be trying to win the time of possession. Now, Joe Mixon looks fantastic. He is someone who can help them do that. And the Chiefs have got the second worst run D in the league.
I was going to put Joe Mixon in, but I thought that was one of those limbs that you're not really,
A bit obvious?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
oh, maybe. All right, you hit me with what you've got.
Okay. Don't get upset.
I'm not upset.
You get upset. He's throwing your pieces of paper down. I've got Kerryon Johnson.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't be saying that because I'm trying to do a trade for him. That's not good. That's not good. I just figure if they can establish a lead, they might give him a bit more of a go. Yeah, and look, there's no Tannehill and Brock's out there, but Brock was unusually different last week.
What, like a quarterback?
Yes.
I forgot to mention the whole Brock thing at the top. That was a really weird thing because I don't know if you were relying on... I mean, it's not like I was starting Tannehill anywhere, but Tannehill practiced Thursday, right, of the game, and then all of a sudden it's like late scratch.
And he's probably going to miss this week, and I think they've already written him off for week 8 as well.
Really?
Yeah.
They got fined because they didn't sort of designate, they didn't sort of say...
So what happened?
I actually don't know.
Don't know?
No.
Okay, so another one I've got is, I've done it again. I do it at least a couple of times a year. I've crossed it out.
Oh, you got Thursday, you got Philip Lindsay.
Oh, no, I got Philip Lindsay in there.
Well, okay, you're right, because he had a good day. He did get in the end zone. But
and I had
again,
Royce Freeman there, but what if Royce Freeman, like, people look at it and go, hey, he scored a touchdown, go and have a look. He ran it from, like, 1 yard out? The dude had, like, almost the same amount of carries and like a quarter of the yards. I can't remember exactly, but mate, I will stand by what I said, and I don't think he can run between the tackles. I've seen him do it a few, and look, if you get the ball enough, you're going to be able to find your way through. But on a whole, I don't think he can do it. You look at Lindsay, and it's dart here, dart there, and out we pop the other side.
But this is the thing with Vance Joseph that I just do not understand, and maybe this is...
And then he's putting Booker in there.
Booker, you see Booker and you see Freeman, and they'll do a run for 1 yard, and then Lindsay goes in 5 yards or 6 yards. You think, why are you rotating them like this? All three of them got carries. It was so frustrating.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yes, so we'll take Lindsay out.
Yes.
Another one I have in there, just let me go through my pieces of paper, because I had Lindsay on there.
Yeah.
I thought, shit, I've got to come up with somebody else. I got Tariq Cohen.
Oh, nice.
Against New England, Chicago this week. They're giving up 18.7 fantasy points. Now, I just sat down, and this is more just off a fair bit of watching the Patriots last week, and look what Tariq Cohen has done as a receiver so far this year. He's got 21 catches out of the backfield, 259 yards at an average of 12.3 carry and 1 touchdown. And, oh, my God, I thought I saw Antonio Gates playing for New England last week. And, mate, that is Hightower. Mate, I saw him chase. Mate, he is that slow. Like, okay, he had that interception. And, mate, okay, you don't have to be quick to take 2 steps to one side. And he read the quarterback. That's great. Well done.
Yeah.
But Van Noy's not the quickest guy going around either.
No.
Now, you put Tariq Cohen out there, matched up against either of those two guys, mate, he's going to burn this linebacker core in New England this week.
He's looking pretty good.
Yeah. And we've seen Howard. Howard's really struggled.
Yes.
I just think the pass catching ability, the speed of Cohen is going to really run havoc with the Patriots this week.
Yep.
And let's face it, like last week, we saw what Hunt did. On the ground as well as through the air. And last week, 5 catches, 105 yards and a TD.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd put Tariq Cohen in the same category as Hunt, but, you know.
Well,
Cohen looks good, though.
Cohen's a far quicker runner than Hunt.
Yeah, they're a little different. But, yeah. No, I agree.
Did you see the touchdown from Hunt? That he caught from Patty Mahomes to it?
Yeah.
What was it, about 52 yards or
something?
Yes,
yeah.
Mate, did you see his little feet, his little legs go?
That was
his legs are that big. He looks like one of those little short, fat kids, mate, running really quick, doesn't he?
He does. Fantastic. All right, wide receiver. I've got actually 3.
Oh, I've got 3.
Wow. Well, but I kind of cheated. Maybe you call it 2.5 because...
Did you look at mine?
No, I didn't look at yours. No. Because my first 1/2 are from the same team. So I've kind of picked a wide receiver core.
Yep.
And that is Michael Crabtree and John Brown.
I've got John Brown.
Aha. From the Ravens playing the Saints. Now...
They're giving up 36.2 fantasy points to wide receivers.
Who? The Ravens?
The Saints.
The Saints, I'm sorry. Now, Crabtree does a lot of work out of the slot, and the Saints struggle to cover receivers out of there. And Brown is a top 25 performer in PPR. They're going against the Saints team that's given up the most fantasy points in the NFL to wide receivers.
Yes, and they've also they're ranked 32 against the pass. They've given up the fourth most yards. They've given up the most TDs with 10. And this is a stat that I couldn't believe. They have given up all those stats on the 6 fewest pass attempts.
Oh, wow.
So they're at the top end of crap,
Yeah.
and yet they're down the bottom of how many times teams are thrown against them. That's amazing that you're giving up all that, the 6 fewest pass attempts.
It probably makes sense,
So they're
because-
giving up big plays.
Yes.
And who's the big play? Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about how Crabtree's probably the more reliable, stable guy. Screw it, mate, if these people actually go and have a look at the stats aren't everything.
No.
But when you go and read a stat like that, mate, who are you going to play? Is Crabtree getting down the field, for one play, he's gone for 80 yards and a touch? No.
No.
Mate.
But John Brown
is.
Yeah, true. And Crabtree's had the dropsies a bit as well.
He was a bit better this week.
Yes.
Last week he was terrible.
Yeah. So, John Brown probably, yeah, you're right. But both of them, you could play both.
Oh, most definitely.
And another one I'm going to add in there, Chris Godwin from the Bucks versus Cleveland. Now, the Bucks ground game is 31st in the league, disappointingly. But the Bucks actually rank in the top 5 in most passing categories, boosted by the performance of their wideouts. Now, Chris Godwin has averaged nearly 50 receiving yards per game. He's already caught 4 touchdowns. The Browns have surrendered the 9th most points to wide receivers. So Chris Godwin is kind of a under-the-radar, sneaky good play.
Very good. Well, I've got Tyler Boyd. I spoke about before how in the past 2 weeks the Chiefs have been a lot better, only giving up 2 TDs, but they've given up 770 yards. And I said, mate, that's a bit of a launching pad for both AJ and Tyler Boyd. But Tyler Boyd's been seeing a hell of a lot of action for the Bengals so far this season, and I reckon the Bengals could easily have in a game that might be determined through the air. They could easily double the output of the 2Ds they've had over the last 2 weeks in the first half.
Yes.
1 to each of them. 2 to Boyd would be nice to them. I don't have any shares in AJ Green, but I thought, okay, I'll go and have a look. That's the past 2 weeks. So let's have a look at the Chiefs over the past 2-4 and the season. So the past 2 weeks, like I said, 2 TDs, 770 yards, ranked number 32. Okay? Dead last. The past 4 weeks, it jumps to 1,286 yards and 8 TDs.
Wow.
And that puts them at 29th over the past 4. Now, if you put them over the season so far, they've given up 2,142 yards.
Wow.
That's a fair bit.
It is.
There's a couple of quarterbacks that could go a year and not put up those numbers. And this is only after 6 games. They've given up 10 TDs, and that puts them, once again, at the top of the we are shit against wide receivers.
At the top of the bottom.
At the top of the pile of shit.
Yeah.
At number 32. So, at the moment, Tyler Boyd's ranked number 13 in PPR. He had 13 targets. He's 13th in targets, 16th in yards, 8th in TDs, and he'll probably see Kendall Fuller this week. But Kendall Fuller's been good, but he has given up 72.2% catch rate.
Really?
Yep, at 13.5 yards per reception, which are both quite high.
That's not too good,
No.
is it?
Can I give you another one?
Yeah.
Put a guy in. Devin Funchess. Now, I've never been a big Devin Funchess fan, but I watched the game last week against the Redskins, and oh my God, mate, this dude is pulling balls out of the air. Like, I mean, snatching them and we know how Cam throws high and fast.
Yes.
And I mean, seriously, he let some absolute missiles go last week that only someone like Funchess. And, mate, he just grabbed them, snapped them out of the air. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
He looked like the best receiver in football last week, the best set of hands. He's sort of coming into his own at the moment. And the Eagles are giving up the second most yards, and they've also given up 7 TDs to wide receivers. So, mate, and he's had the last 10 games, he's been without an 80-yard game, but he's seen 21.2% of the target share. And that's with Olsen in.
Right.
And we'll talk about Olsen in a minute. Did you see the game?
No, not that game, no.
A little bit concerning.
Right. Let's get to tight end then. Actually, you're going to be only talking about Olsen. Oh, you're going to do all your tight ends together, aren't you?
I do my tight end. spiel.
All right, because I've got one on the negative
one?
side. But anyway, I've got
Chuck
one
me
on the
there.
positive side, and that is David Njoku, who had his best game of his career last week against the Chargers, reeling in 7 passes for 55 yards and a score. Now, he should keep the good times going in Tampa Bay. The Bucs are the worst team against tight ends. They're giving up an average of, get this, 7.2 receptions and 97.2 yards.
I'm not feeling too good in my guts.
Aren't you?
No.
You better just whoa camel on that monster.
Just hit me.
Really? Yeah. Have some water.
There might be some editing to do so.
Well, listen, tell me about tight ends before anything else happens with your end.
I was just going to say, look, I had a red light on Greg Olsen last week. In the last 10 games, he's had 51 targets, only 26 receptions for only 294 yards and 1 TD. So when you work that out, that's like 2.6 receptions a game.
Yep.
What is it? 29 yards a game?
You've got a very strange look on your face.
Oh, it's not good. And 1 TD, so break that down as 0.1 of a touchdown per game. But it was more the fact that there was a ball thrown last week that it was a little bit behind him, and he was running down the sideline, and a healthy Greg Olsen with a good set of ankles would have stopped, turned around and caught it, but he didn't even attempt to change direction.
Okay.
He just ran in a straight line.
Ooh. Wow.
So I just saw that play, and I thought, mate, to me, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I actually had Greg Olsen down here in my woe camel, but I'll just add it in because you talked about him. Just add in the fact that they're playing at the Eagles, and the Eagles have given up, apart from just the Seahawks and Saints, the third fewest fantasy points to tight ends.
Yep.
So it's a tough matchup as
It is
well.
a very tough matchup.
Added to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So some guys, outside the top 14 tight ends that I had a look at, Vernon Davis versus Dallas.
Yep.
I think they'll be paying more attention to Jordan Reed, but I don't know why, because I don't know if Alex Smith actually knows that he's on the park.
No. Vernon Davis is getting very good numbers.
Yeah, he is. I don't know why Jordan Reed... Vernon Davis seems to be playing the middle of the field, and Jordan Reed sort of more to the outside, which is beyond me, because with Jordan Reed can be... he's a top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
When he's on his game. So I don't understand that. Another one I've got, mate, you could probably go and grab Antonio Gates against Tennessee. Mate, it's in his contract that he has to, get at least, at least 4 balls.
Right. Okay.
And at least a couple of looks when we get down to the red zone.
Okay.
It's just, I'm not coming back for anything less.
Look, I can't tell you what his stat line is, but I'll
It's
tell you
probably
how
not
many.
good.
I'll tell you what his yak will be.
Yeah, 0. 1 step.
Yeah.
As I turn around, I'm not running down there. I've got, mate, you know how it was to get to here?
Yeah.
I'm not going any further. Another one I've got down is CJ Uzuma. Up against KC this week, and they're 30th against tight ends, and the number 32 in yards against tight ends.
Okay.
And another one that I had, and we brought him up when we spoke about our tight ends coming out of the draft, and that's Chris Herndon.
Ah, right.
Looked really good last week. He's a big athletic guy. He had 56 and a touch last week against Indy. Goes up against Minnesota this week, so that's another one to look at.
Okay. Well, listen, G, it's time for this.
Yeah, mule! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Whoa, camel! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, camel! Whoa! Oh, come on, whoa! When I say whoa, I mean whoa!
All right, so do you want me to go with my first woe camel?
Please, because I've made a big mistake here tonight.
I'm going to say woe camel to you.
Oh,
Don't you dare have another sip of that. So,
I'm not that, but I forgot to do something, didn't I?
Oh, what?
Go on,
All right.
continue, please.
Andrew Luck.
Ooh.
Now,
Chris, once again, turn off. Mate, this is the trade I've got going. These
really?
These are 2 of the guys I'm trying to trade for.
Carry on Johnson. So, Andrew Luck versus Buffalo. Now, the Bills are actually quietly...
I want Johnson,
Yes.
but I have Luck. I'm willing to trade Luck. Luck's been good.
Yeah, he's Luck.
He is.
He is luck, isn't he?
And it's a passing offense. He's
Which
in
is
a passing
good to
offense.
see. Yeah, that's right. But the Bills are playing actually really excellent defense. Their team is third in total D, third in pass D, third in sacks, and fourth in fantasy points allowed per game to quarterbacks. So it's not going to be a good week for Andrew Luck. And add into that the fact that I don't know if T.Y. is going to play. He's certainly not healthy. And there's lots of receiver woes.
Well, last week his numbers would have been a lot better because if you watched the game, mate, I don't know how many drops there were.
Really?
Oh, there was a ton. There was tons everywhere. Mate, he has a lot of patience. Because I can tell you right now, if that was Rivers, he'd be going off his absolute nut.
Or Rodgers.
Or Rodgers.
Yeah.
Who did he give a spray? Did you see him give a bit of a spray to? Was it
Rodgers?
Yeah, was it Scandling? What's his name?
Valdez Scandling.
Yeah,
I think it was.
He gave him a bit of a mate. Where the you think you were going? You could see you. What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
That's good. I like when the cameras pick that stuff up.
Yeah.
You got anybody else?
No.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Deshaun Watson this week versus the Jags in Jacksonville. Who they looked appalling last week. The D.
Yes, they did.
And Jalen Ramsey. If you're going to talk the talk, mate, how about walk the walk? Cole Beasley shot between two guys, and Ramsey being one of them. And Ramsey pulled up.
Mm.
Now, mate, you go and tackle. Maybe are you going to tackle your own guy? Well, yeah, but you could stop a touchdown. But
my word.
Anyway, I don't know if you saw that. As I said, the Jags D looked averages last week. They've been the 25th worst against QB, so that's in his favour. But Jackson's playing. He's sporting some sore ribs, cracked ribs, maybe broken rib. Cracked,
Is he?
I think fractured.
Okay, right.
There's a big difference between all three.
Broken, crapped.
Oh well,
crapped.
Well, yeah. If you crack a rib,
cracked.
If it's broken, I don't know. But
fractured.
They're all different sort of breaks, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all painful, but some more painful than others,
yes.
Obviously. So I don't know how he's going to go this week up against a Jags outfit that's going to be pretty ticked off about their effort that they put in.
My word.
At Jerry's World last week.
Yes.
And look, up until the game last week, the Jags have stopped Mahomes and Brady to a combined 547 yards and only 2 TDs. So Watson gets a few fantasy points with his legs. How often do you want to run and open yourself up to the possibility of getting hit? Every time you drop back, the possibility of getting hit. So we'll just see how he goes. And look, add into the fact that he probably want to get rid of the ball a bit quicker, and then he's got his hands full with Jalen Ramsey and AJ Boye covering his two best receivers in Fuller and Hopkins.
Yes. Okay.
I got one more.
Oh, go.
I only gave one.
All right.
Drew Brees. I like to bring him. Drew Brees against the Ravens at Baltimore this week. They're only giving up 12.5 fantasy points. Now, the Ravens have the lowest completion rate of 55.6 at only 6 yards an attempt.
Wow.
The Ravens D already have 26 sacks, and 11 of those came last week against the Titans on poor Mariota. Oh, my God. That dude must be... Mate, that ice bath couldn't come soon enough for him last week, I don't think. Now, the secondary is really good in Baltimore, and as is the run D. So it's what is it? Death? What is it? It's I was going to say death by 1,000 cuts, but it's not like that. It's
no.
What's what I'm looking for when you?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's another saying, isn't there?
There probably is, and you know what's remarkable is that I think that Baltimore always, for almost as long as we've been watching NFL, have always been this hard-nosed, gritty defense. And even despite the fact that you look at the current defense and there's not like a ton of name, not like when you put it side by side with the Jags D, which is star-studded.
Yeah, since we've been following the turnovers, the turnover of players, and the defense still looks exactly the same. They're still the same.
Gritty, hard-nosed. Yeah. Man, they play hard. It's incredible.
Yeah. So, look, the only outdoor game that Brees has played this year was against New York, and he only threw for 217 yards, no TDs, only put out 8.58 fantasy points. Now, in the last 4 games, the Ravens have only given up scores of 14, 14, 12, and goose egg.
Wow.
So the fantasy output from quarterbacks against them in the past 4 was Keenum 5.6, Roethlisberger 14.8, Mayfield 17.9. I should add, look, maybe there's a few on there with his legs, and Mariota at 7.1.
Right. Okay. Running back. Same game. Alex Collins versus New Orleans. Now, last week, I actually put Alex Collins in my Woe Camel G. What did he do? He had a 2-touchdown game.
He started slow, though.
Yeah, he did start slow. The Saints are first in the NFL in run D. Seriously. You wouldn't believe it, but they are. And they're 29th in fantasy points allowed to running backs. So repeat performance is not on the cards. And maybe that is just because people are throwing on them and, the game is quickly becoming a passing score fest. Maybe that's why. But in any case, Alex Collins is my Woe Camel G. Who do you have?
I've got Jordan Howard this week up against the Pats, who have in the last 2 weeks only given up 170 rushing yards, no TDs, and 166 yards and 1 TD to receiving backs. That's all going to change this week when Tariq Cohen, because they haven't seen anybody like Tariq Cohen this year so far. So on the season, they've given up 2 TDs, 349 yards to receiving backs. I think it's going to be a receiving back game. So Jordan Howard might take a little bit of a backseat to Tariq Cohen. Yeah, and the Pats have given up 9.5 yards per reception. So once again, it all just lies in the lap of Tariq Cohen, and it doesn't really look good for Jordan Howard and on the ground. Another one I've got is Tevin Coleman this week. I've seen a lot of people put Tevin Coleman in his start. I don't know if it's the fact that Devontae Freeman's been put on IR with the groin. Never been a fan of Cohen, as you know. I like the look of Vito Smith. He looks a lot better between the tackles than Tevin Coleman ever has. Now, granted, at home, where the Falcons are this week, Coleman had games of 12.5 against the Panthers, 10.7 fantasy points against the Saints, 7.7 against the Bengals, and 10.1 against Tampa Bay. He's only averaging 3.7 yards per carry, so he's had a lot of carries, and the fantasy points look okay, but with the opportunities he's had, he's never really sparked. And in the last 2 weeks, the Giants against running backs Smallwood and 51 on 19 carries, and run CMC only 58 yards, no touchdowns on 17 carries.
Very good. Wide receiver.
I'll let you down here.
Well, I've got 2.
Dog ate my homework.
Dog ate your homework. I've got 2, maybe it's 1.5, because it's the Houston wide receivers, apart from Nuke, because you can't really sit Nuke under any circumstances. But Will Fuller or Kiki Cutie, the Jags are the number 1 team versus wide receivers. They're giving up an average of 125 yards total. So it's not going to... And add to that, and I didn't write it down, but add to that the Deshaun Watson stuff. I just don't think it's going to be a good day for Houston wide receivers. But Nuke, yes, you'd play Nuke anyway.
Hope so.
Which goes without saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So you didn't have any?
I just... I can't believe that. I'm really sorry, and I apologise to everybody that I didn't. But can I'll put in, just off the top of my head, can I put in Corey Davis?
Yeah.
Only from the fact that Mariota and the whole offense just looks inept.
Yes. How about Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry looks terrible.
He's
he looks
droppable.
Slow.
Do you reckon he's droppable?
Yes.
You couldn't trade him for anything.
No.
In Dynasty.
I've got him a couple of times. I couldn't give him away, I don't think.
So you have to just hold on to him because...
he just looks slow. Well,
to be honest...
If you look at the offensive line and the 11 sacks last week, so you could imagine by the time he's getting the ball, he's getting tackled in the backfield.
Yeah.
And look, he just doesn't have... He's a build-up momentum guy, and he's not even getting the chance to get his third foot on the ground before he's tackled.
No. All right, let's move on, G, to our next segment, Wing and a Prayer.
Ooh, Wing and a Prayer.
We're halfway there. Oh. Living on a wing and a prayer. So,
Getting pains now.
Did you need to go to the toilet? Or you were all
I was
right?
getting pains. Well, not toilet pains.
I reckon you're not getting heart palpitations and you're not...
I reckon my teeth are coming loose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen that quickly.
Oh, no.
Have those every day for a few months, it probably would.
I've got an engine to clean at home. I might take some of this, spray it on it. I reckon to clean it right up.
Okay, Wing and a Prayer. I have, and this kind of, you actually kind of had a teammate of this guy. I
What
put
colour do you think my Euron's going to be when I go?
green. So, actually, what colour? I don't even know what colour that is.
I know. I've never. Don't know. It's a black can. I don't want you to know.
No, they don't want you to know. No, you can't handle the truth. So, DJ Moore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The Eagles are 25th versus wide receivers.
Did you see him fumble the ball last week? Twice?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
But they still.
it's a wing and a prayer.
They still kept pumping him with the football.
Yeah. But now the Eagles are number
fight back.
3 versus running backs. So as you already mentioned, might be a slow day for CMC, and also for Cam, given they're really tough against running backs, right?
Oh yeah, he's not going to be able to run. He ran a bit last week. He always scares me when he runs.
Yes.
He's not going to be able to do that this week against Philly.
No. So DJ Moore, that it is truly a wing and a prayer. And can I just
Wait
say,
to see my wing and a prayer.
last week my wing and a prayer, Josh Malone, how did he do?
I have absolutely no idea how to go.
0. Donut.
He got a halo.
Yeah,
He got a halo.
He was that good. He got a halo.
He got a halo.
Yeah.
All right, my wing and a prayer this week is Raheem Mostert. How do you pronounce his name?
I think
Mostert?
so. He's the Niners.
He's a Niners, mate, and he
Fullback
looked,
or something?
He looked fantastic last week.
Really?
He looked great. Up against the Rams this week in San Francisco. They're giving up 18.9 fantasy points the last 2 weeks, ranked 28th over the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
To running backs. Now, against Green Bay last week, 12 carries, 87 yards, 7.3 yards per carry, but he just looked dynamic. He looked very good. Now, he's only 2 carries behind Breeder. Now, he's not 100% fit.
Right.
There were questions if he was going to play last week's game.
Okay.
He still looked good, but I think it's going to get to the point where they're going to start having to take care of him.
Right.
Breeder. And look, Alfred Morris, that experiment has ended over no good. He didn't get a carry.
Okay. Anyone else to mention?
No.
No. Next one, Future Waiver Wire. Future Waiver Wire. Okay, now, I've got a couple of guys here. The first one only really counts in redraft. You'd be able to get him in redraft. Dynasty, there's no way you can get him. But Nick Chubb,
Ooh, Chubstar.
the Chubbstar. Now, it's only a matter of time. It is Hugh Jackson we're talking about. But I think it's only a matter of time before Chubb sees his playing time increase. It could
Well,
be
I think
that
you actually spoke to the fact that he has to start giving
he did. But
Chubby the bit more of the ball.
it's a bit meaningless. Like, coaches just say stuff and then it just doesn't happen.
Everybody wants a Chubby.
Everyone wants a Chubby. I can't say that I really believe you. He's not super believable, reliable. But anyway, Hyde could get hurt, which is quite probable.
Anybody would get hurt.
Or Hugh could just see the light, and as you said, he's mentioned it.
Chubb's
So
looked good on the carries he's had.
he has.
Look, mate, in one game he looked damn good.
And it could well be that if you grab him now before he explodes, it could be a second half of the season screamer.
Mate, I've had him since day dot.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting him on my bench in one of our leagues that we play against each other. I'm happy to give up that bench spot. Just hold on to him.
Oh, no. It's an investment for sure.
Yep.
The second one I put there is a little bit more of a reach. You'd be able to get him without problem, probably Dynasty even as well, is Laquan Treadwell.
Okay.
Now, he's been disappointing so far this year. Last week he had 4 receptions, good for 38 yards. He does have a little bit of a problem with the dropsies. This is the 4th game in a row where he's caught 3 or 4 passes. Look, he's just building, and this is what I'm saying. It's future waiver wire, and what happens if Diggs or Thielen gets hurt? Then suddenly he's up the pecking order. He's going to get more time, more snaps.
They'll bring somebody else in. They'll give Des
Instead of Treadwell.
They'll give Des a call.
But anyway, who have you got?
Hey, that's a chance.
That is a chance.
Oof. Des will probably go. Do you reckon Des will go to Minnesota?
Of course, he'd go anywhere, I reckon. This stage, he'd go
At this
anywhere.
stage he would, yeah. Look, I have the same guy that I have on a wing and a prayer. I've got Raheem Mostert. Like if he has another good game this week, he's definitely a future. Go and pick him up now. As I said, I think they're just trying to not nurse Brady through, but they ran him at the start and then just gave him like the whole second half off.
Right.
So he's not 100%. If he goes down or the injury gets worse, this guy's going to get a fair bit of work based on what I saw. And the only real opportunity that I've seen him have this year, I think he was injured a fair bit last year as a rookie.
Yep.
Someone just maybe if you got a bench spot, you never know. Running back is a very fickle position.
Sure
as far
is.
as injuries go.
Yes. Anyone else?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Twitter questions.
Okay.
Oh, we're going well, actually. We're doing well tonight. We're not dragging this out too far. All right. Twitter question from Hutch. Actually, he's got a couple. Are you worried about the Chargers receiver production in Wembley? Seems a slow and slippery place to play. I must say, watching the Raiders-Seahawks game, the quality of the pitch, the quality of the turf was not good.
I actually, for Wembley Stadium, to me, has always been like, it looks like you're playing on carpet. But
Right.
It didn't look that way.
No, it didn't look that way.
Like
Didn't look good, did
No,
it?
it didn't look good at all.
No.
It's not what I'm used to seeing a soccer pitch look like.
No. I agree.
I just got a message. This might be good. I better get this trade done before this goes out tomorrow.
Oh, what was the message?
I think the trade that I put out that we've
Yeah.
been talking about, that I said keep it quiet.
Yeah.
I think it's on the table.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, you keep doing that. I'll keep answering things here.
No, that's all right.
You hit accept? Or was it just a message saying...
That's the message.
Oh, well, you keep the dialogue going. That's all right. Another one from Hutch. How do you see the Cleveland backfield playing out this week? Well, we sort of were talking about that and Nick Chubb. Carlos Hyde, are you sort of down on Carlos Hyde now?
No, I'm fine with Carlos Hyde.
Okay, it's just a question of more carries for Chubb.
When he starts getting more carries,
Yes.
then I believe.
All right.
I'm
Otherwise, you're all in the Hyde train.
at the moment, yeah.
Yes.
Until proven otherwise, why would you not?
Absolutely. From Jack Humphrey. Hey, Jack. He says, should he trade DJ in redraft leagues?
I've actually thought about it. I only have DJ on one team, which is a dynasty. Redraft, I probably would. Dynasty, no.
Also depends what you can get for him. But he's got decent name cash.
They just no idea how to use him.
No,
No idea. It is appalling.
it is. And PPR, he's actually doing okay. But if you were playing a standard league, it'd be pretty dire, I think. The answer is yes. See what you can get for him.
Don't give him away.
No, don't give him away. From Craft Beer Jay. Hey, Jay.
What question did you come up with this one? What was
Dynasty.
last
No,
week?
it's a
Last week?
sensible one.
Oh, is it?
Dynasty question. I have both Rodgers and Mahomes. If you were to trade away one, which one? Well, actually, that's obvious, isn't it?
Dynasty?
Yeah,
Rodgers.
Rodgers. Me too. Well, Rodgers is older. You can get a ton for Rodgers.
Yep.
Go with Mahomes. He's a
Mahomes
young cat. He's going to be playing
You've seen the start of a great career.
Of an era.
Yeah.
Yeah, get what you can for Rodgers.
And Rodgers, what? He's missed 2 seasons in the last, what is it, 3, 4? 4?
Yeah, he's starting to get dinged up.
Yeah, his knees, he's wearing a bigger brace on his knee now.
Yes.
It hasn't stopped him from... Gee, mate, that drive to win the game last week,
Yes.
sensational.
Oh, wasn't it just?
Oh, you just... Guys like him and Brady, you just don't want the ball in their hands. The last people to be holding the football
Oh, yeah.
when the game's in the balance, do you? If you're the opposition.
Exactly. From Big Zacco, it's kind of a repeat question here. When does the Julio TD show begin?
It's. I was talking to this with Sheps last night actually, and we were actually talking about the difference between Julio Jones and Des Bryant.
Okay.
Where, my God, you want Julio Jones for everything that he is.
Yes.
He's so far. I'm sorry if you're a Des fan, but as far as a wide receiver athlete goes, he's far superior to Des Bryant. But when you get in the red zone, my God, you want Des Bryant. I have no idea what it is about Julio and the different colour turf, but once he gets in there, it's almost as go, oh my God, we don't know what to do. It's quite strange. He doesn't have that if we're comparing to Des still, Des has that go up and, mate, this ball is my goddamn no matter what.
Yes.
And Julio doesn't have that same sort of quality, but I don't know why he's not getting touchdowns. I really don't know. And if you probably look at most of Julio's touchdowns, they come probably more from the 20 and runs them in.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss. I think most people are lost to know why. Maybe because the ground that everything shrinks, and he doesn't work that well within that area. Where people like when you get down there, you're going to look for. This is when Sanu is at his best.
Yes.
In these areas.
Yeah. And I would argue from a fantasy perspective, not a real NFL Falcons perspective, but from a fantasy perspective, it doesn't really matter. He gets so many points.
Oh,
Julio's
mate, like PPR and just yardage alone. Do you need a touchdown? Well, of course, a touchdown is going to be absolutely wonderful.
Of course.
But don't bitch the fact that he's probably one of the best PPR scorers in the league.
He's got a very high floor, and he's also got a high ceiling.
Yes.
He's really amazing in that sense. So,
It'll come.
I don't know.
It'll come.
It'll come, yeah. From Adam Munro. Hey, Adam. What does Miami do if Brock gets hot when 17 returns? Do they play the hot hand or do what the Bucks have done? We are talking about Brock Osweiler.
We are.
I don't think he's going to get hot.
Oh, mate, what did he throw last week? Like almost 400 yards, 3 TDs and 2 interceptions I think he threw last week.
Yeah, and the Finns are actually, let's have a look. They are 4-2. Dolphins are 4-2. And Tannehill has been playing okay, hasn't he?
He's had a couple of rough trots of late.
He has, but, I mean, they've got a 4-2 record. Fancy that. Look, okay, well, I don't know. I think you go back to Tannehill.
I think hot hand.
Really?
Yep.
If Brock does a Fitz, but he'd have to do, that's a big ask.
Oh, he's bound to do it.
He's bound to do it?
He's bound to, shit the bed. Eventually.
Oh, shit the bed. No, I meant like what Fitzpatrick did in weeks 1 to 3.
No, I mean why Fitzpatrick is no longer the quarterback. He's bound to do that.
Yes. From Peter Randall. Hey, Pete. He asked, this is a bit of an IDP question, but I think it's an easy one. Who would you start out of Khalil Mack, Thomas Davis, or Lorenzo Alexander?
Well, keep an eye on Khalil Mack.
He says, I've just scored Von Miller and Todd Davis, so I'm on a roll. So, yeah, they got massive points. Yeah. And it's a shame that, well, that's Mack as a linebacker.
Okay.
But still, it's Mack over those guys.
But Max, is he going a bit sore this week?
I don't know.
I heard that, yeah.
Really?
Just keep it on.
Oh,
He'll probably
really?
play, but...
Okay. No, but it's
And the
Mack.
other two were?
Thomas Davis, so Panthers, and Lorenzo Alexander.
Okay.
No, Khalil Mack, easy. And I think that might be it, G. And I'm just having a look in
No
the
live
drinks
questions?
of the pod. No live questions. So a few comments on the drinks of the pod. Craft Beer J said, you won't be sleeping tonight after that.
Oh, no way. I just had another sip and I shouldn't have done that.
You should have done that. He's just looking a bit crook, actually.
We're in
just
10 minutes,
honestly,
we're on with Randy.
on the Dynasty Warzone.
Yeah.
So from Dylan, he said he's...
I actually hope you better add that. I don't know if it's Dynasty Wars.
Oh,
It
okay.
might be his other one.
No worries. From Dylan, whose comment was, my favourite energy drink.
Oh,
well,
really?
Dylan, you've got
So,
cast
I'm a Red Bull sort of guy.
cast iron insides, I reckon.
Oh, mate, if you're drinking that, mate, you could probably survive anywhere in the world, eating anything. If you can drink one of those and survive, I'll let you know how I go tomorrow. Next week, I'll tell you how I wake up
my goodness.
tomorrow morning.
And lastly, just to round us out, which is probably a fitting note, from the analyst, and I'll have to pronounce it correctly, no Moet this week, G.
No, I dropped from first to third.
Why would that be?
I just dropped from first to third because I lost. I had a bad week,
Oh, okay.
Had a bad
I
week.
understand.
and now he's on top. And that's why.
I understand.
And actually, you're second.
And I'm second.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're doing okay.
We're doing all right. All
I
of us are doing all right.
had a big bye week though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, in one of my leagues this week, not that anybody gives a shit, but I had 7 starters on bye.
Oh, wow, that's going to be brutal. Oh, well, you might. As well just-
some of them were guys that I brought in for last week's bye, so it's not too bad. Like, boom, they're straight out anyway.
Yes.
But you look on there and all you see is red. Oh my God. Screwed.
Oh, well. You might just have to take the loss.
No, it worked out okay.
Did it?
Yeah, it's worked out. Yeah,
Ooh,
worked out okay.
some of these bye weeks
it gets scary. It gets scary when you see all the red come up.
Hard to navigate. Yeah, okay. Well, that's it, G. Well done.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So, thanks for listening. As we always say, hope your fantasy teams are doing well. And I was actually thinking of doing like a stock take. I think I said that last time, G, but we didn't do it.
The deal is done before the pod goes out.
The deal is done.
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Before the pod goes out.
You want me to tell you what the deal is, just quickly?
Yeah, tell us.
I have Matt Ryan and I have Luck on my bench. And look, I could go and pick up a Dak Prescott. I don't know. There's about 4 or 5 quarterbacks still available in our redraft league.
Yes.
That I could go and pick up just for a bye week if I need somebody.
Yeah.
So, and I'd like another running back and a wide receiver. So I've traded Andrew Luck and TJ Yeldon.
Okay.
For Kerryon Johnson. And shit.
And shit.
No, hold on.
That's a terrible deal.
Hold on. And Jordy Nelson.
Oh, and Jordy Nelson. Okay. All right. Nice. Well, Carry On's obviously
Well, that's who I was after.
the target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
And I was happy to give, and like she's struggling at quarterback. She's starting Alex Smith.
Oh, okay.
So.
Oh, this is Denise.
This is Denise. Yes.
Ah, right.
Chris,
Not
the analyst's wife. Yeah.
Right.
Who's that was a half world away trade. So I think she's in Paris or somewhere at the moment.
What?
On work.
Really? You're kidding?
So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, well done. So, anyway, hope your leagues are going well. As always, we appreciate you tuning in, listening, sending us questions, commenting on our Drinks of the Pod.
And I'll let you know
all that
what
sort of
hospital
stuff.
room I'm in.
That's
tomorrow.
right. You can send him flowers.
Send me flowers.
So,
or a wreath. Might be a wreath after drinking that.
it might be. Oh, my goodness. I can put that on your headstone. Big can of Monster.
Just carve in the initials.
That's right. All right. Well, on that note, thanks for listening, everybody. On behalf of G and myself, catch you next time.